President jobs now. I'm here to introduce to you the Pan-Africanist, Mwana wa Badimo, President Julius Malema. Over to you, Commander-in-Chief.
Amandla! Amandla! Viva EFF, viva! I hole EFF, I hole! Tata EFF, Tata! Tata EFF, Tata! Amandla! Amandla! Howe mushwa mashodu, howe! Howe mushwa ANC, howe! Howe mushwa zamansole, howe! Down with Cyril Ramaphosa, down! Down with Cyril Ramaphosa, down! Thank you very much. Our national chairperson, who's a convener of all forces who are deployed here to come and work for elections. Let me also thank the Provincial chairperson, Shadrach Taule, and Secretary of our province, Zekwinana, and all those who were elected with. I want to greet the leaders of all regions who were democratically elected to lead this movement of ours. I'm here to greet all of you, the ground forces of the EFF in Northern Cape. All of this is possible because of you and your hard work. Comrades, ke batla ho dumedisa bagolo ko tenteng. And I want to say to you, ha ke fetsa ho bua mo, ke tlotla mo tenteng mo, ke le shebe matlong, ke le tshware ka matsoho, because we are nothing without our elders. Comrades, all of you, you must respect all those people. Even when we go back home, we give them space first when we enter taxis and buses. As long as our elders are still outside the transport, we will not get in until they are all picked up and delivered to their respective homes. Comrades, I want to thank the pastors who opened this service and all the pastors in Northern Cape who always pray for us. We need your prayers. We find ourselves as a country in a difficult situation. I'm asked to remind you that we meet today under the theme, Land and Jobs Now, Stop Load Shedding. That is not just a theme, it's a battle cry. We are crying for our land, we are crying for jobs, and we want to stop load shedding, because load shedding has destroyed lives in Northern Cape. This land of Northern Cape, it's a rich land. So standing here are the people of Northern Cape who come from a rich province, yet they are poor. Comrades, that contradiction must be stopped, and it will be stopped on the 29th of May. Comrades, how can we have a country where all arms of the state are in trouble? We have a president who is in trouble with the law because of the Busasa money, who is in trouble with the law because of Pala Gate, because he violated his oath of office. That is a head of the state. That is a head of the executive. We now have the head of legislature, Nosifiwe Mapisa Ngakula, who is in trouble. The second arm of the state, called legislature, is led by a person who is in trouble with the law. She has been taking bribes after bribe. Aya chelete ali minister raya masholo. Aja bribe left, right, and center. Haba swanti ba mutware ba muncha ko bu ministere ba mutsenya ko parlamente. Today, Parliament is led by a person who's troubled with the law. Another arm of the state is called Judiciary, which is led by Zondo. Zondo, who is breaking the law. Comrades, Zondo said the ANC did a good job by electing Cyril Ramaphosa as a president of the ANC. Why should a judge comment about party politics? Because a judge must always be neutral. A judge must not be concerned about what is happening in the ANC. Now, that arm of the state is in trouble. All three arms of the state are in trouble because they are led by questionable characters. Former Chief Justice Mokweng once spoke about Israel. He was taken to Judicial Conduct Committee and he was made to apologize because he spoke about politics. But Zondo, who speak about South African politics and ANC politics, is not being made to account, is not being made to apologize because he thinks he's a constitution. He must know Mokito wa dikatsi wa fela ka di 29th of May. Comrades, we've got a public protector who is also captured. I told you, three arms of the state are in trouble. Now we must go and seek refuge under the office of the public protector. That office as well is captured and is collapsed. Since she was elected or appointed the public protector, tell me one case which she dealt with successfully. Today, the public is without a protector because the person who's in the office of the public protector is not a public protector, it's a presidential protector, it's a Ramaphosa protector. Comrades, as if that is not enough, we run to Northern Cape, we find Zamani Soul, who said he's Thomas Sankara when he was elected the premier. He said he will not use German machines, he's going to drive in a Corolla. Today, he's driven in an S600 and all manner of luxurious vehicles against what he said he was going to do. Zamani is a liar of note who goes around lying and destroying the Northern Cape. One of the lies Zamani told was that he's going to launch state-owned construction company which is going to build houses and build roads for the people of Northern Cape. Till today, there is no Northern Cape state-owned construction company. How about Lautibor Pothole King? Kena mo khalishiwe mo. Hauna mo tsamaya ngo karawatawa utsamachena because of the potholes that Zamani promised to go and fix till today. Actually, the potholes have become worse under Zamani Soul. Comrades, how tsama everywhere ukena in every township in Northern Cape, hunkga maswe fela ke storage everywhere because the ANC ke storage yona self. That's why ANC rata storage. Ke storage yona self. Hauna motho aka kithatang adumela suwa irana all over. Bana ba rena ba raloka ka maswe is because the ANC is suffering from a self-hate. Comrades, the hospitals have collapsed in Northern Cape, including the so-called Provincial Hospital called Robert Sobukwe Hospital. How kabotsa khunu ka mo tenteng hore ha le kula nele re kelise ko Robert Sobukwe balla dikeledi, they cry and ask you not to take them to Robert Sobukwe. Ke re wa le ana o ya ko Robert Sobukwe ba re ka se khutle ngwanaka a se spetele ntho ke muchari. Those hospitals have become mortuaries. That's why HOD ile ya tshwarwa mo ya maphelo e utsutse tšhelete le HOD ya public works ya tshwarwa because ke mashodu fela mo Northern Cape ba utswa tšhelete ha ro kena ka mo ke leke wa jiwa ke ma ANC everywhere you go. More Khalishiwe is even worse. The Tlaela is Pogo, the most stupid people that we went to school with. Yeah, in Khalishiwe, ke bona ba drive on the BMO, ke bona ba Brian Nama every day. Why? They are members of the ANC. That's why we must go and take out the rotten potatoes in this municipality and hire the children of Kimberley and the children of Khalishiwe to get jobs in the municipality, to get jobs in the provincial government. How re ke tsama everywhere mo batho ba lla ka hore ho hirwa dinyatsi tsa zamani soulu dikeni everywhere. How re ka stolele batho mesebetsi ka Anglo-American or Impala Platinum ba keni batho re ke boma ba re ke cherry tsa zamani soulu kaofela di kentswe everywhere. Azanga ka bona monna o rata skete o tshwana le o o tsama di zipi di buleile Northern Cape kaofela. So re tlo e fedisa ntho eo le tlo hirwa ko masipaleng ka di-qualification tsa lona ka ID ya lona because you are South Africans. Policy ya ANC ya dunusa uthole msebenzi izophela on the 29th of May. Comrades, this province has got a fertile land. Hona lady minerali tse batlang hore they must come to you. There is no way Anglo-American or Impala can control the whole province, yet the people are poor. When we take over, we want the mines to go in the hands of our people. When we take over, hauna traka yetlo tswa mo itshwere manganese and taking manganese to Richards Bay. All of manganese is going to be processed here in the Northern Cape and create jobs for the people of Northern Cape. Iron ore, diamond, and all manner of things, they must be processed here. Kimberley, it is what it is because of our precious diamond. That's why diamond all over is called the Kimberley diamond. It's a shining mineral which is loved by everyone. But no one is shining here in Northern Cape despite sitting and staying on top of a precious mineral. We want you to look like your diamond. We want you to look like your minerals. We want you to have farms, to do chicken farming, goat farming. We want you to breed cattle and support your own children. There is too much land in Northern Cape. Actually, there are few people in Northern Cape compared to the size of the land in Northern Cape. We can give you, all of you, a piece of land in Northern Cape, and another land will remain which we can give to other South Africans. That's how much land we have in Northern Cape. So, Commissar Shadrach, I was asking myself when I entered this stadium as to who is at home now. Because Kibonu Karbat ba Northern Cape ikaufela batleko stadium. Northern Cape, the people are few. So I can confirm that today there is no one at home. The whole of Northern Cape is here at Galeshewe Stadium because it believes in the message of hope. Comrades, we want you to get jobs. Harilule Makua, Hariri the truck can't leave to Richards Bay with a mineral is because that thing is not manganese. That thing that they put at the back of the truck is the jobs that were supposed to be given to you through processing of that manganese. So halibona trucker itswa, you must look at the truck and say, there goes our jobs. That's why we want to industrialize here in Northern Cape. We want to open factories here in Northern Cape. And that state-owned construction company, we will open it ourselves and build roads and build hospitals and make sure that our people get proper houses. Comrades, no child must go to school and graduate and not get a job. Why do you call people who went to school or they are unemployed graduate? That is a concept we must reject with the contempt it deserves, because no graduate must be called unemployed. A graduate is a graduate and must always be referred to with a respect. That's why we want everyone who is at school, TVET or university, doesn't matter. 6 months before you graduate, you must go for practicals of what you are doing in successful firms so that you get practical exposure before you finish. But you also know your future bosses. They also know their future employee. When you finish, you've got a place here. Because they've seen you before you finish. And when you finish, you don't hustle for a job. Already, they are waiting for you. They are not looking at our CVs. They don't know how hardworking we are because they've concluded that South Africans are lazy. That's why we want to force you on them. You must go into a mining company if you're interested in mining and get practicals there so that they know you are not lazy, you just know your rights and you are not ready to accept nonsense. Fighters, if you graduate and you don't get a job, it's not your problem. It must be a state problem. That the state took you to school. Now they don't know what to do with you. they must pay you for having taken you to school. Fighters, don't listen to this nonsense. Yauri, chelete tlotswa ko kae. Ba refa di 370 now. Ba fa le ba sa yang skolong. We don't have a problem with that. Ba sa yang skolong aba itole 370 ya bona. Mara ha una le matric, thola 1000 ya hao ya rona le matric. Ha una le degree, thola 5000 ya hao ya rona le degree, ha o sebetse. Ha una le honor 6000, like that. Why? It's not too much money. Because people with honors are few. People with degrees are few. People with matric still are few. So to say it, how much are we going to pay and from where, is unscientific and is a rejection of recognizing education. Ke batla le sekolong hore bana ba lona ba tsebe ho ya sekolong, ka re ha le na le ka sekolong la se thole mesebetsi, la fetsa la se thole tjhelete ya hore le ile ko sekolong. Ha o re ko ngwana e ya sekolong o thole degree, a re mama o na le degree wena, mara o thola 370 ya o tshwana le ya malome a sa ya sekolong. Children must know that education pays, and it doesn't only pay because you become intellectually, it pays in terms of material terms. That's why we must make you to go to school, and school must be free. I want education to be fashionable. I keep baturi, but bamo kaleshiwen all over Northern Cape. Ba compete ka maina di jinor, he nage apara Levi's, he nage tswere iPhone, he nage ni wine ya cheaper over miere ki no R&R. Aki batin tweo, ke batla le compete ka di qualification. Oh, I just completed my matric. Oh, of course, I'm busy with my honors. Hey, I'm doing my PhD. Those are the types of discussions that must happen around the youth of the Northern Cape. Not discussions ya byala, not discussion ya dipache, not discussion ya nyaupe, but a discussion about the future. And when I say free education, education does not only include school fees. They say to you, go to school, you don't have to pay school fees because you are poor. After they said you are poor, don't pay school fees, they say go and buy school uniform. How can I afford school uniform if I can't afford school fees? When do I become poor? Do I become poor during school fees and become rich during school uniform? Everything, education must be free of charge. A decolonized education. Kebatla education, ye tlo le rutang ka Robert Subukwe, ye tlo le rutang ka Steve Biko, ye tlo le rutang ka Chrisani, e le rute ka Winnie Mandela, ka Sankara, ka Mugabe. Because we want education that is going to make you love yourself. We don't want education worship white people. I do not worship a white man. I'm not scared of any white man. I will never beg any white man. The white man will be treated the way he treats me. How can tell like batutsi ba le khoa o nthoma? Kile ka kopana le lengwe le byanga Farm Club ko le fula Winnie Mandela le khoa le re antella ka re ke tlo shapa wena. Agnana gwa le khoa, don't try that with me. Why? My brain is liberated. My soul is liberated. I know even if I have nothing, but I have a dignity, and that dignity is the only thing I have, and I must defend that dignity with everything. Do not allow anyone to take your dignity away. I'm saying to you, you must have land, not because we've got land to play with, land for dignity. We want to restore your dignity, because if you don't own property, you have no dignity. I want to give you education, because an unemployed, educated person is a person with self-consciousness, is a person who respects himself, is a person who takes 3/7 of the ANC and still vote EFF, because he knows that it's not an ANC money, it's a money of the taxpayers. Hakin na bothata le batho ba ruteileng. ANC ele rata le sa rutea. God, when you are not educated, you don't ask educated questions. Baba tla o sa re ke a bua o sa re ba thola skipper. Ha o sa re ke toitoe o batliwa metse food parcel. Re tla pia food parcel ka eng re sena metsi. Re tloing ka food parcel mare batla metsi. Do not lose focus. And being educated does not mean certification. You ought to liberate your own mind and know your rights and know your worth as a human being. Fighters, we must go and open doors for learning at tertiary level. We must go and say, no more registration. When you leave high school, what is going to get you a seat in the university is your results. We don't care about your surname. We don't care how rich you are. We look at the result. We don't look at the face. We don't look at the surname. From there we say, she deserves a seat because of your results. You can't pay any registration. You can't pay any fees, because education must be free. Already, Bahulu Rayet and Teo, already student command of the EFF, even before we become government, is already fighting and getting children of the poor by force into the university. Student command has got a program called Sisofunda Ngenkani. We are putting our children to learn free of charge and ngenkani. We say to them, we want education. We are not asking for nyaupe. We are not asking for drugs. We are asking you to open the doors of learning, because we know that's where our future comes from. Comrades, in every university, there must be free Wi-Fi where the students are learning in classrooms, including in the residence. Wi-Fi should not be something of luxury. That's why when we take over this government, it are pila Vodacom le MTN ka data ya bona ya utura e haring ka puso ka di 30 tša May, Vodacom and MTN, they will cut by half their data price because they are milking South Africans. They are stealing from us. At the universities, at public offices, there must be free Wi-Fi, including in the residences. Why? We live in an era of information technology. When you've got data, when you've got Wi-Fi, you don't have to go and stand on the street and sell anything. You just sell it on Facebook. Your customer is there. You sell it on Twitter. Your customer is there. You can build a big business just from your social media. The problem is data. Comrades, we want to make sure we end load shedding. Because load shedding is man-made. It's like a mood. How now that you are Rugby World Cup, there was no load shedding. The whole World Cup rugby, no load shedding. Which electricity knows rugby? Only a human being knows rugby. He says there is no way here we are switching on here. When there is a State of the Nation address in the whole of Cape Town, no load shedding. When they want, they decide no load shedding. When Bafana comes back from African Cup of Nations, they switch off load shedding. When we went to Moses Mapida, Barbai Tiba, Ralia EFF Bari, Ikasiluke ko Natala, this is not possible. Yangena EFF. But what are we going to do now? But better stage 6 load shedding. Hukwalwa message why EFF or iskaba thing on television, on radio, no electricity must be there because EFF is going to have a manifesto launch. But on the day the ANC want to have a manifesto launch, there was no load shedding because load shedding is man-made. We are going to fix it because all the corrupt who are switching off our electricity, we are going to expose them and expel them from ESCOM. We are going to fight corruption in ESCOM because load shedding is corruption. We are going to service our power stations. We are going to use our coal. But it doesn't mean the green economy that we can produce here in Northern Cape, including the green energy, must be stopped. But I will never allow government to close a 1,000 megawatt power station without an alternative green that gives me the same 1,000. You want me to close a coal power station because of wind or solar? Give me 1,000 megawatt first, then I will close it. In the absence of such, no power station is going to be closed. We will service it, we will maintain it, we will hire engineers to come and look after our power stations. Comrades, there is a problem of water here in Northern Cape. Everywhere you go, our people drink water with animals. Ntori batla le tsebe kore na re di chabe di mine. Hauna community ye tla ban le mine ya sebe le metsi, and metsi a tlo kenya ke government, a tlo kenya ke mine, because they are making more money more than anyone else, and they won't do it after 2 years. In a year's time, the reason why you don't have water is because the water infrastructure is too old. It's finished. There are no water treatment plants. La runwa metsi ya mo Kimberley mo o ka runwa ino. A testa o ka re ke ino. So there's no investment in the treatment of water in Northern Cape, no building of proper water infrastructure in this province. The money is there. The mines have got a lot of money. Your brother, Zamani's soul, is in pockets with them. That's why he can't put pressure on them. We are not in pockets with the mining bosses. We are not friends of Oppenheimer. We don't hate Oppenheimer. Mara, Oppenheimer or controller the way a controlang ANC. When the Northern Cape his private farm. Where's the way I ratang katembo Northern Cape Oppenheimer outside the minerals of Northern Cape adinchakan tobarke fire plate ko Johannesburg illegally. Tofela nto because nara ya chelete ya Oppenheimer. ANC ishile chelete ya Oppenheimer baballa komo controller. Uye ubabutse ntwe wena as a grand force or ligile chelete ya Oppenheimer le ya mchaba. Habar rigile chelete efingwa na or mani di picho ujile. Mani di picho kele shodu la matomo since 1994 la regisa batho ba Northern Cape aba regisator the Oppenheimers. That's why today this province is what it is. Today Zamani is following in the footsteps of Manidi Picho. As Manidi Picho fela Lidi poor Peters. Opala kubu outleti di zimba in the mouth. Bantoba yetsa nkunyofa fela mfonyo with their families. That's why go parliamente bamukreile guilty. The poor Peters, her own colleagues, or corrupt utonya kadibasi kalina la department for ANC rally. So, comrades, we only need a party that is not scared of Oppenheimer. We only need a party that is not in the pocket of the Rupert family. We only need a party that is not in cooperation with the Minel family. Those are the people who control our economy. No one can get a job in a country where economy is controlled by private individuals. Private individuals are not known for creating jobs. They are known for making more and more profit in the name of our people. Comrades, Rebata, di notari di matambo, Northern Cape di fele gaufen. Lengangile kusasa. We want you to be sober because they are feeding you alcohol to make you drunk, whereas they are stealing your country. You will never fight for your country drunk. They are feeding you drugs to destroy you so that you are not relevant to the economy. We don't blame you. There are no opportunities. There is no sports. There is no arts. There is no culture. When you go to universities, they expel you. We don't blame you. We are going to open all those doors and shut down the doors of alcohol and drug abuse. Comrades, Bonkonu, Habansi Bamata Mo, my ANC, Amasela we Congolos. They say, Malema utlo kwala the social grants. Ke kopale mo today. Next time abatla ko matungalona. Bar Malema utlo kwala the social grants. Lere ko bona nernale Malema ko Khalishiwe Stadium. Urla ai kwale social grant wa itabula or fa more than that. Rebata lefa 4,180 bonkgono le borakgolo le disabled people. Rebata oketsa tšhelete ya bana because bana ba le bona ba tshwantse ba thole support. But you know, comrades, how far bonkgono ba le tšhelete? How large? Ha ba nwe di notagi ka tšhelete, ha ba dale di cards ka tšhelete, ha ba dale mo China. Ba reka lesaka la bupi ke eng bupi? ya ba reka lesaka la bupi ba le bie ka mo morao ha le mati ba fepe every African child who passes through that family. Ha ba apea ha ba apele bana ba bona fela ba re lo a fetang ka tsela must come and eat here. That's why we must give them money, because by giving them money, you are giving the poor of the poorest money. Yo tswa ka itchelete. Yo tswa ka ore ro cancela. Before I go there, let me deal with the issue ya bana. Bana ba tshwantse ba thole more than 1,000. Hore ha bo mma ba bana ba ba ya ko toropong ba yo etsa grocery ya bana. Ba be le tšhelete ya go khutlela morao ya transport. Tšhelete ska fella ko grocery. Ba re ha o bua so o tlo etsa batho ba ba etse bana ba kere ya ba etse. What's wrong? Ba etse bana bao. Ntata bona ke Malema o tla ba fa dijo, o tla ba fa social grant. Ke bana ba ka bao. Ke bana ba ma Africa. Why bari when you are poor don't make a child? Itwa ka yona ntweo. I come from a poor family. I was born to epileptic mother who was a domestic worker. Worked in the kitchens, worked for the Indians. She was so poor that the poor even called her poor. She gave birth to me. Look at me now. I will never die because of I'm born in a poor family. My family circumstances will never determine my future. I might be born in a poor family. I will not die in a poor family. I take a stand now and say, I'm going to liberate my family. Why do you stop these people from giving birth? What if this child they are giving birth to today is the one who's going to change that family? Balea, multiply. Shadrach, letwelen toale na otswa famo ha ke re shapeto itwe lutula ke ke potsa wa o ka re moshimano a bereke. Ha le tsama ma fighter kaofela. Tsama lo sebetsa le multiply re etse bana mo Northern Cape ba tlale Northern Cape batho ba shota mo Northern Cape and the economy ke batho. That's why China is successful, because they have a quarter of the world population. Habana di minerals na le tsona, yet they are rich, we are poor because we are small in number. That's why makgwa ba re ko lona wa o etsa bana ba bangata ngata o sa sebetse. They are threatened by black people multiplying themselves and taking their rightful place. Ha ke re etsang bana ha ke bui le bana. Bana ke rile ba ye sekolong. Ke tlo ba fa free education. O ska etsa ngwana o le ngwana style ko wena. Go to school where we tutor and make your family proud. Let's say to got teenage pregnancy, man. How tama moga teenage pregnancy? Haba ngwala statistics. Habari e Malema's daughter. Habari ngwana ko Malema. Haba ngwala stats bari. Teenage pregnancy in Khalishiwe is too high. Baralerina, because of you, don't involve us in your stupidity. We don't give birth to fools. We give birth to visionary leaders who say, I'm born in an RDP house, But the EFF has given us a big land. I'm going to go to school and pass and build my mother a bigger house. Fighters, let's go and make our ancestors very proud. Let's go and take over the streets of Khalishiwe, Kimberley, and all over Northern Cape from criminals. Bana ba rona ba sa tsamaya bosiu, ha ba sa di library bosiu, because there is a thug ikutame somewhere mo e batla ho ba capture. Let the fighters take the streets and fight crime. And not only crime, and fight GBV. Let Llewellyn Tweo beta basadi, di shumana. Utsama ushapa mosadi, mara you are scared of the targets how go chesa nyama. How kukutwa matla ya go tagenza. Fighters, but babu mbe, la ka ushapa ka varam club. There's nothing painful about that. Maramushe beafeta ushapa rueta. Ushapa katlapa, immediately she shrinks. Immediately she apologizes without saying. Immediately she's regretting her action. It means she's now down. Why do you kick her when she's down if you are not a coward? A coward will never go after the weak. A brave man will never go after the weak. Only a coward will go after the weak. Let us not beat each other, male and female, but worse, males. Women don't need protection. Don't try to be relevant and say, let's protect women. Let's protect women. We don't have to protect them if we stop beating them up. We don't have to protect them if we stop raping them. Hey, do not be disparate. How rape motho wa mme o etsa ngwana o etsa mme pregnant. How this child was conceived becomes a permanent pain in that child and the mother. When you rape a woman, she might be alive when you look at her, but the